going on, everybody? Joseph Hadid here for Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news, your local community. Good morning, sports family. Thank you for tuning in to Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. It is Friday, April 12th, 2024. How's everybody doing on this Friday, ladies and gentlemen? TGIF indeed, as we close out the work week and the school week. Get ready for this upcoming weekend. Thank you for tuning into our YouTube channel and interacting with us on this Friday edition. As you're having your cup of coffee and having those happy smiles on your faces on this Friday edition of Worldwide Sport Updates. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go over some sports that transpired this past week. And we're going to start off with some NBA, ladies and gentlemen, as we close out the NBA regular season. I think today there is 15 games scheduled, ladies and gentlemen, before the playoffs start next week. Well, not the playoffs. I think the play-in tournament starts next week on April 16th through the 19th. And then the NBA playoffs start on April 20th. So, yeah, a lot of things are moving by quickly as we speak. All right. Let's talk about the Boston Celtics as they become the first team in NBA history to shoot 0 free throws in a game during a bizarre loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. You all heard about that news, right? This past week. Let's get right to it. There are certain statistics that you just never expect to see in sports, and the Boston Celtics recorded perhaps one of the most unlikely milestones of all time. During the team's 104-91 defeat to the Milwaukee Bucks on Tuesday, the Celtics became the first team in NBA history to shoot 0 free throws in a game. To make matters even more bizarre, the Bucks only shot 2, meaning the two teams set a new record for the fewest total free throws shot during an NBA game. The Bucks also committed just 4 fouls all game, the fewest in NBA history. Man, Adam Silver's the happiest, Bucks head coach Doc Rivers said, referring to the NBA's commissioner per ESPN. 1 hour and 57 minutes game time. My goodness, you can go to a game and still have dinner. Unbelievable. I thought it was a physical game. And then they handed me the stat sheet, and I told them, no, I need the full game. Ahead of the 2021-2022 season, the NBA made a rule change that stated referees should not award fouls drawn by players using over it or abrupt or abnormal non-basketball moves. The change was made due to players such as James Harden, Trae Young, and Luka Doncic consistently being able to draw fouls with unusual shooting motions that at the time were within the rules. Alright, let's shift over to some NFL news, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you all have heard about this news that transpired this past week. I think it was breaking news yesterday. O.J. Simpson, ladies and gentlemen, ex-NFL star, who was acquitted of murder, dies at the age, pronounced dead at the age of 76. O.J. Simpson, the former American football star, actor, and notorious suspected double murderer, has died of cancer at 76. His family said in a statement on Thursday, his 1995 trial and controversial acquittal for the deaths of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman provided one of the world's most watched popular cultural events of the last century. Simpson's death was announced on X, formerly Twitter, in a simple message from his family. On April 10th, our father, Orntheno James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asks that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. A statement from the Pro Football Hall of Fame said Simpson, who died in Las Vegas, had been receiving chemotherapy for prostate cancer, which it said he made public 2 months ago. Alright, let's shift over to some NHL hockey news. Ice hockey referee Steve Kozari knocked out in a scary incident during the NHL game between the Penguins and Lightning. An ice hockey referee has been taken off the ice on a stretcher after colliding with a player in a National Hockey League game in Pittsburgh. Whistleblower Steve Kozari collided with Tampa Bay defenseman Hayden Fleury in the third period of the Pittsburgh Penguins' 5-4 win over the Lightning Sunday morning. Kozari and Fleury ran into each other at Sanctuary Ice as the Penguins began to advance the puck out of their defensive zone. Kozari hit his head on the ice and was down for several minutes while being tended to by the medical personnel before they took him off the ice. He was able to move his arms and hands. Alright, representation among black players are improving, but work remains. Jackie Robinson's Day is an occasion to celebrate the bridging of divides that occurred when Robinson debuted for the Dodgers on April 15, 1947. But the work on that bridge continues to this day, as the league and the entire baseball ecosystem continue to strive for better representation for black players, while we continue to see strength in the overall diversity of the sport. And there are many encouraging signs in the African American player community pipeline. The percentage of African American players on MLB opening day rosters was essentially statistic this year, 6.0% in 2024 versus 6.2% in 2023. That's why MLB continues to create and promote programs intended to improve that number. You can't stop trying to make progress in other areas, said Tony Riggins, MLB's Chief Baseball Development Officer, because that progress will then impact those numbers eventually. All right, let's shift over to some Major League Soccer news. MLS to relax roster rules in the wake of Messi's arrival. The MLS Board of Governors approved changes to the league's roster rules Tuesday, designed to allow teams more flexibility and how rosters, on how rosters are constructed. Sources confirmed to ESPN. Among the changes approved, which were first reported by The Athletic, are the relaxing of restrictions on the combined number of designated players and under 22 innovative signings. Other changes include doubling in the number of contract buyouts allowed per season, as well as increasing the amount of general accolation money GAM teams that receive when players are transferred out of the league. Another change that had been discussed, a so-called Legends rule that would have allowed teams flexibility in retaining long-time veterans that was not included in the final package of roster rule modifications. A source with knowledge of the proposed rule told ESPN that continued discussions will take place within the MLS Sporting and Competition Group. That is all for this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you on next week's recorded podcast. Till then, hit the like button, subscribe, share it out. Let everybody know what Worldwide Sport Updates is all about. For your daily sports updates, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joseph Hadid, your host for Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. Take care of each other, sports family. Have yourself a great weekend. This is Joseph Hadid, signing off. Take care of each other, sports family. Bye-bye for now.